I would like to invite Shri Santosh Kumar, who is currently the Additional Director General with DD News India. As a communication professional, he has handled various campaigns for Government of India, including Prasar Bharti, especially in Afghanistan and Sri Lanka. In his current assignment, he has handled various publicity campaigns, including 8 years of government budgeting and election programming. Sir, welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody. Chief guest for today, Dr. Balram Pani, Dean of Colleges, University of Delhi, Professor Geeta Bhatt, Director NCWEB, Professor Hemant Kukreti, Principal Shyam Lal College, Dr. Pramod Dwivedi, IQAC in charge, Sri Kesav Rai Arora ji, Member Governing Body, University of Delhi, and finally my friend, dear friend Manish Karmwar, convenor of GST. First of all, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be here, to be amongst an august audience, and congratulations to you again, for the whole group who are associated with this GSTS series for completing 100 episodes. This is a milestone achievement, and as everybody said, this was started when Corona was at its peak, and it has continued through the thick and thin of times, and 100 episodes have been completed. 100 people, 100 students have expressed their ideas on this platform and benefited from it. I don't know, when Manish invited me, I was also a bit hesitant to speak on this topic of today, the art of articulation, because you all are very articulate. You have got this opportunity to, communicate, to present this platform, and you all know the basics of this. I am speaking this because I am an engineer by qualification. I did my 4 years engineering, and the only time I got to speak on a small platform or through a group, apart from friends, of course, is when I was appearing for a job interview in the final year of my college. Before that, there was no occasion, there was no opportunity for me, like what you have got, to interact with each other and to present your ideas. But anyway, as we all know, articulation and communication is very, very important in today's time. It's a benchmark of success, and if you have to move ahead, you must have it. You must have the skills to communicate and present your ideas in a cogent and coherent manner. Articulation is just a part of communication, overall communication. As you say, articulation is through a bunch of words, speaking, sentences, but it's an overall communication. What do you want to speak? What do you want to convey to the other? What do you want to convey to the audience? Of course, it has different parts, different layers. Communication or articulation is verbal. It is also non-verbal. It is not only through the words and sentences what you communicate, it is also through your expressions, through your gestures, through your movements. It's combined. And all this you can find through Google. So I don't have to speak much about this. This is not a lecture series. But as I said, it's very important, and the best of articulations, the best of communication is still preserved in our scriptures. If you see, every religion has a scripture attached to it, and it's just a communication. It's just an articulation which has stood this test of times. Hundreds and thousands of years have passed, and it is still intact. People believe in it because it has been so well articulated. And it's so important that we articulate very well in our day-to-day times, in our daily lives, in our career, because we all study in colleges and universities, we all gather knowledge. It's important. Having knowledge is important, but it is also very important that you communicate what is your ideas, what is your desires, and you make your path through your communication and articulation. That is where you stand out. That is what makes a difference in life. That is what makes a successful career. That is what makes success. If you see, our present Prime Minister is successful, is very much successful, and because one of his best abilities is the ability to communicate to the masses. It is not. Apart from that, it's not only about while communication ensures success, lack of communication also leads to failures and conflicts. If you see today's modern times conflict, it all has its base in lack of communication, perhaps failure of communication. If you see, today's one of the biggest wars in our times, the Ukraine conflict, may be also due to lack of communication. Now you see both countries, Ukraine and Russia, are getting damaged. Russian economy is getting damaged. Ukraine's is getting damaged. Destruction they are facing. They are both leaders in their own spaces, Mr. Zelensky or Mr. Putin. They both want to safeguard the best, both want the best for their countries, but they are not able to do enough because perhaps they are not able to speak through their ideas. They are not able to communicate to each other. So again, I will not harp on this too much. One of the good tenets of communication is empathy for each other. It's not only about what you want to speak, it is also about what others want to listen to you. And that is very important. We know there are other speakers. It's also going to be lunch time. I have full empathy for you, so I will not take much of your time. Thank you all again, and best wishes to all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your kind remarks.
Next in the series, we have Professor Geeta Bhatt ma'am. She is an eminent personality with an awe-inspiring academic background, and currently she is serving her diverse dexterity as the director of the Non-Collegiate Women's Education Board of the University of Delhi. Ma'am, I extend a humble request before you to kindly honor and embellish the stage with your benevolent words.
Body of Shyam Lal College Evening, Shri Keshav Rai Arora ji, Additional Director General, DD News, Shri Santosh Kumar ji, Dr. Pramod Dwivedi ji, convener of this talk series, Dr. Manish Karmwar ji, the students, faculty members who are present in this hall, namaskar to all of you. I take this opportunity first of all to thank the organizers, the principal of the college, Professor Hemant Kukreti ji, and the convener, Dr. Manish Karmwar ji, for giving me the invite to be present here. And I extend my congratulations to the principal of the college, who has been so encouraging, and rather I was telling him sitting over here that you are so generous, and you have been so encouraging to your faculty, towards your faculty and students, because this encouragement is something which is required. We all are part of the university system, and we do realize that when the person who is, sitting on the administrative chair, when he is encouraging, when he gives you the liberty, he or she gives you the liberty to experiment at times, may also falter, but have the confidence that whatever you are doing is, with the best of intentions. I think that gives the encouragement to the faculty and to the students to go ahead. So I would like to congratulate the principal of the college, Professor Kukreti, for giving encouragement for this endeavor, and also to the convener of this particular talk series, Dr. Manish Karmwar ji. When he told me about this initiative which Shyam Lal Evening College has undertaken, I was rather envious of him, that why is it that I didn't think of it? Why is it that, why we couldn't do such a thing? So I must say that involving students and an initiative which is completely where the students are at the forefront, they are doing everything, writing down. The documentary which was shown here itself, it very well communicates to everybody everyone who was sitting here that how wonderfully they have prepared the kind of labor which has gone in doing the research, in putting up the words, standing in front of the camera, and bringing forth whatever has been done in such a long duration, where 100 such lectures were undertaken by students and which also had mentors from various colleges and universities on different topics. In fact, while going through the book, I could see that the kind of various issues that have been taken up by the students, I was rather, I must say, astonished that how come they could think of such a wide variety, and really it is a very, very commendable effort. And I must congratulate the students, which I think two of your representatives who are there as the presenters of this program, they themselves, I think, can give a good run of money to various presenters on TV channels, the way they are communicating. So there is actually, I was thinking there is not much, just like Pramod sir also mentioned, there is not much that one can speak to you students regarding the skills of communication and articulation, because it seems that you already are, very much well prepared in this. But yes, it is definitely very important for anyone who wishes to excel in life, who wishes to succeed in life, that we must have the art of talking and also the art of listening. Both these are very important, and I think an individual who can master these two, no one can stop that person from achieving whatever goals he or she has set for herself. Because while it is very important how to talk, how to communicate, it is also very important that we have the patience to listen to others, and that is what empathy. When Pramod sir was talking about the empathy, it was basically about that we should also have the ears to listening to others, what they have in mind. So one part, I think briefly I would like to put 2 points over here. One is that when you have a personal communication with someone, when you want to personally talk to 2 or 3 people, and you want to, express at times, even at your home, you have to express something to your parents, you want a new mobile phone, you want to go out with your friends, you want to stay out late at night. So how do you express yourself to your parents in such a way that they will be convinced that yes, it is safe for you because they care for you? That is why, at times there are riders on you for going at different places. But what is important is that when you are communicating within 2 to 3 people, how you express yourself, the words that you are using, they mean a lot. आप ये कहें ग्लास जो है आधा खाली है और आप ये कहें ग्लास आधा भरा हुआ है, ये दोनों में जो है जो आपकी जो सोचने का जो तरीका है, it expresses the way you think. So it is the positivity in your words, even when in some of the very adverse circumstances. What is important is that you express it with a positive attitude. And I think those who are able to master this skill, they are able to do very well in communicating themselves. And second aspect is that, how you do public speaking, when you are, speaking in front of a large number of people. For that, I'm sure that, those who have been involved in this talk series and who have undertaken, while speaking on these graduate scholar series, it is, first of all, the kind of a homework that is required is something very important, and I'm sure that after participating in this talk series, all these students, they would be much more appreciative of their teachers, because they would now have known that when you have to give one lecture, how much of preparation actually goes behind it. So that I think they will be able to appreciate after participating in these talk series. Also, I think that in public speaking it is important that the kind of a message, when you are trying to speak to a large number of people, whatever you are speaking, the message which you want to convey, there must be some message that you need to convey when you are, when you are participating as a public speaker. And one example, which exactly is not of a public speaking, but yes, how you can influence, because whenever you are speaking on a platform, you tend to influence at least few people who are sitting and listening to you. I would like to hear talk of example which I can remember is that of Vinoba Bhaveji, and I'm sure a large number of you must have heard of Vinoba Bhave. वो एक स्वतंत्रता सेनानी भी थे, गांधी जी के बड़े प्रिय शिष्य थे, और उनका जो भूदान आंदोलन था, उन्होंने एक ऐसे समय में जब देश में बहुत सारे ऐसे किसान थे जो या मजदूर थे जो भूमिहीन थे, उनके लिए एक भूदान आंदोलन चलाया था, और पूरे देश भर में बड़े बड़े अमीर लोगों से, जमींदारों से उन्होंने अपनी जो उनकी भूमि है उसे जो है जिन्होंने दान कर दी, लगभग शायद 40 लाख एकड़ से भी ज़्यादा ज़मीन उनके इनिशिएटिव पर, उनके प्रयासों के द्वारा दान कर दी गई। तो जब वो छोटे थे तो एक गांव में एक बार उनके यहाँ कटहल का पेड़ था, कटहल का पेड़ जो है उसमें से कटहल बहुत लगते थे, उन्हें बहुत पसंद थे, तो उनकी माँ उसे बहुत बांट दिया करती थी। तो इस बात से बड़े दुखी रहते थे कि माँ क्यों सबको दे देती है। तो उनकी माँ ने उनको कहा कि बेटा, जो देने वाला होता है वो देवता होता है, ऐसे आप समझो, और जो लेने वाला होता है वो दानव होता है, तो हमेशा देने वाला होता है। और ये बात उनके मन में ऐसी घर कर गई कि उन्होंने जब ये भूदान आंदोलन चलाया, इसी को एक मूल वाक्य लेते हुए उन्होंने लाखों एकड़ की जमीन बड़े बड़े जमींदारों से यही उदाहरण देते हुए उन्होंने दान करवाया। So when you are communicating to someone, your expression, your pitch, your your tenor, all these things, the way you are speaking, the softness with which you are speaking, all these things, they really matter a lot. I would like to congratulate once again the organizers of this program, as well as all the students who are associated with this talk series for their really exemplary effort. And I would like to join Professor Balram Paniji in his wishes, where he expressed that maybe this talk series goes up to 1,000 talk series, and probably you would be able to make a Guinness Book of World Records. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Professor Ravi Narayankar, who is a principal of Shyam Lal College Evening, is with us. So I would like to invite Vaishnavi to please facilitate the session. Again, I would like to invite Professor Navi Narayankar, who is currently the principal of Shyam Lal College Evening, studies at the renowned Faculty of Commerce, and worked with Competition Commission of India and many Premier Institute of India. And recently, NAP has given A++ grading to Shyam Lal College Evening. Congratulations to you, sir, and welcome.
Namaskar. Respected guest on the dais, Sri Santosh Kumar ji, Additional Director General Doordarshan, Madam Geeta Bhatt ji, Sri Keshav Rai Arora ji, representative from our governing body, Sri Pramod ji, Manish ji, और आदरणीय हमारा प्रिंसिपल सर प्रोफेसर हेमंत कुकरेती जी, माय डियर गेस्ट, कलीग्स और सबसे अच्छा मेरे प्रिय विद्यार्थियों, सभी को बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करता हूँ आप लोगों का। आपने ही ग्रेजुएट स्टूडेंट टॉप सीरीज आपने सोचा, और इसके जो थिंकिंग है आप सभी बधाई के पात्र हैं। पर्टिकुलरली आई नो मनीष जी, व्हेन ही केम अप दिस आइडिया, एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम आई कंग्रेचुलेटेड हिम। और कोरोना टाइम था डॉक्टर साहब, तो आप लोगों ने जब ये कंसीव किया था, एंड रियली इट हैज़ रीच्ड 100 एपिसोड्स इट्स रिमार्केबल। और बिल्कुल बलराम साहब ने सही कहा होगा कि 1000 एपिसोड क्या है, बहुत आगे और जाएगा। आप सभी बधाई की बात। और यूनिवर्सिटी का हम लोग सारे पार्ट्स है, जैसे हम एक मैनेजमेंट थ्योरी में कहते हैं सिनर्जी थ्योरी। हर पार्ट अगर इकट्ठे हो जाता है, जो होल होता है, जैसे 1 + 1 2 नहीं होता है, 1 + 1 11 हो सकता है, 111 हो सकता है, 1011 हो सकता है, बहुत आगे तक जा सकता है। और हम लोगों ने, आप लोगों ने ये कर दिखाया। और इसका एक एग्जाम्पल भी आज सुविधा दूंगा मैं। टुडे मॉर्निंग itself I had a visitor in the college who is a very respectable, is working in some respectable organization, government agency as a joint director. I said, sir, कुछ काम था? कहते कोई नहीं, just like that I wanted to visit my college। तो मेरे मुंह से वैसे निकल गया, सर आज तक आपने कभी याद नहीं किया। तो लोग अभी जुड़ना चाहते श्याम लाल के साथ। थैंक यू और कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन आप सभी को। तो आप ऐसे करते रहिए, बहुत आगे आप लेके जाएंगे कॉलेज का। नमस्कार, थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. So next in the series, we have the welcome address by our patron, and for that we were supposed to have Srimati Sabita Gupta ma'am, who is the chairperson of Shyam Lal College's governing body, but due to some unforeseen personal engagements, she couldn't join us today. But she has sent her all the best wishes to the team of GSTS and all the people concerned with the platform, and therefore we have Shri Keshav Rai Arora ji, who is the member of governing body of Shyam Lal College, and he is also the ex-treasurer of the college and governing body member of Shyam Lal College. He retired as the chief manager from State Bank of India. Besides, he has held various programs and dignified positions like manager, auditor, and personal in HRD manager of the bank. He has been instrumental in administrative and planning matters of the college, and it is our utmost pleasure to have him as our patron for today's event. Therefore, I would now like to request sir to kindly come up with his welcome note.
Honorable guests sitting on the dais, Chief Guest Dr. Professor Balram Bani ji, who has just expressed his ideas and also gave his blessing to continue this program, and wish that he will again he will come for the 1000th session. So I think he has given his blessing, and he will continue for this program. And next is all the honorable guests. I will not take much of your time because you may be feeling hungry and lunch time is there. This is I think this is an innovative idea in the university to express different ideas and to consolidate the different ideas into one single idea, just like unity in diversities. As the Prime Minister always says that India is a country of diversities, but they have a unity. It is just like that. आप लोग जो हैं बिल्कुल different ideas, different topics को एकदम एक्सप्रेस पर एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म पर, और जो इन्होंने कर्मवीर की हैं आपके कर्मवीर ही हैं, क्योंकि भगवान कृष्ण ने ये कहा था कि तू कर्म कर, तो ये भगवान कृष्ण जी के मतों को, उनके जो प्रवचन है उनके ऊपर ही काम कर रहे हैं। तो ये मेरे ख्याल बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, और ये आप सब लोग जो हैं उसके पात्र हैं, बधाई के पात्र हैं। तो मैं आपसे विश करता हूं कि आप सब लोग कंटिन्यू करिए, और आपने जो अचीवमेंट और जितने भी आपने 100 एपिसोड्स की हैं उन सब में आप सक्सेसफुल हो। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. Next, in the series, we have addressed by our teacher in charge, Dr. D.N. Singh, sir, who is currently serving his education as a professor in the Department of History. and he has contributed in various platforms. So we have with us now Dr. D.N. Singh sir for his welcome address.
I have heard some other day that at the time you are learning something or you are applying to learn. Either ways you are having a good time. So he's a perfect example of having a good time anytime.
As a teacher in charge on behalf of history department, I welcome all the guests and participants. Or the art of articulation and GSTS, which is imagination and creation of Dr. Manish Karmwar, who is now convener of GSTS, and the 100 episodes, illuminating sessions without any break. It is very remarkable. And two things I want to say, that one thing, it captured all that, not only history, different areas, economics, politics, cinema, games, sports, social issues, gender issues. And second thing, it broke all the boundaries of college, universities in the state. दो बातें बड़ी important हैं. And my heartiest congratulations to Dr. Manish Karmwar and all the team members, executive members of GSTS. And I think कि इनका effort जो है जो कर रहे हैं in future, जहाँ तक हुआ कि 100 है without any break, एक बात. दूसरी आगे जब जाएगा अगला 100, 200, 300, और मेरी शुभकामना है कि ऐसा होए और देखूं मैं. और I think it will certainly help in preserving the creative and cooperative spirit of the academic society, GST जो भी हैं. और मैं हमारा शेर तो पढ़ लिया, मैं थोड़ा म्यूजिक का ही बोल दी कि म्यूजिक भी थोड़ा सा जानते हैं, तो 2 लाइन सुनाना पड़ेगा, इसलिए तो आसमान में थोड़ा बता दिया. तो जो सब जज्बात की उपज है, ऐसे नहीं होता है, सोचता है, वो कल्पना मुखर होती है तब, जो उसको शब्दों में कल्पना में ना हो, ते कल्पना रूप में मुखर हुई है. आज ये जो कॉन्फ्रेंस हो रहा है, ये ओकेजन जो हम सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं, सबने बहुत बातें कर लिया. तो मैं भी एक लाइन सुना के कि खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा खुद बंदे से पूछे, बता तेरी रजा क्या है. कोई मुश्किल नहीं है, यानी कि अगर ठान लो इसे करना है, गीतों में भी लिखते हैं. और दूसरा, आता है तो तूफान आने दे, आता है तो तूफान आने दे, कश्ती का खुदा खुद हाफिज है. मुमकिन है कहीं इन मौजों में, मुमकिन है कहीं इन मौजों में, बहता हुआ साहिल आ जाए, ऐ जज्बाए दिल घर में आ जाए, ऐ जज्बाए दिल घर में जाऊं, हर चीज मुकाबिल आ जाए, मंजिल के लिए 2 गाम चलूं, और सामने मंजिल आ जाए, ऐ जज्बाए दिल घर में जाऊं. धन्यवाद.
So now I would like to invite the initiator, producer and the glue of the graduates for a talk series. He is the one and only Dr. Manish Karmwar.
Thank you very much for this kind of cheer and support, and thank you all. It's really a privilege for me, the huge gathering and the galaxy of intellectuals with me and in front of me. So it's a great good afternoon. It's a new afternoon on the behalf of the students, college, principal, Department of History, all faculty members, staff, IQAC, Sakshya, JCC and GSTS, teams member. I, Dr. Manish Karmwar, welcome and thanks for this centesimal celebration of Graduate Scholar Talk Series. Today is also an important day for our nation. I recollect the contribution of Father of Nation. ऐसे जियो जैसे कि तुम कल मरने वाले हो और ऐसे सीखो कि तुम हमेशा के लिए जीने वाले हो. Just what Samridhi just told before us. उसने इंग्लिश में बोल दिया तो मैं सोचा चलो हिंदी उसका ट्रांसलेट करके बता दिया जाए. Let me thank Professor Balram Pani sir. Professor Balram Pani has been an obvious favorite administrator in university in these days. Due to 2 recent ventures, he had succeeded. Sir has always been a flag bearer of innovations in various domains. He has also been rewarded most promising innovator award sponsored by DU administration project in 2015 and 16. I'm impressed by the response given by sir when he heard the whole concept our talk series. We are seriously thank you sir for coming here and with this occasion and this whole idea when I came to Professor Pani through Professor Geeta ma'am. So directly he told yes, I'm coming. So thank you Professor Balram Pani sir. And we also privileged to have Mr. Santosh Kumar, Additional Director General Doordarshan with us. He has been serving the nation for more than 2 decades now. He has a vast experience from his responsibility in Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, where the environment maybe not been so conducive. So finally he posted in Delhi. He is an inspiration to all my young students who are planning for the competitive examination. We wholeheartedly appreciate Mr. Santosh for being a true warrior to serve the nation in every possible way. We find it important to quote here, a smooth sea has never met a skillful sailor. I have been closely working with Professor Geeta Bhatt ma'am from last 1 year, and she is an inspiration to young generation. She is empowering the women in most effective way, that is by education and making them self-sufficient in life. Her vision to empower the nation has really done a commendable job. Steve Jobs really said once, if you really look closely, most overnight success took a long time. And this was Professor Geeta Bhatt. Ma'am has really made up this excellence of own vision, academic zeal, continuous sincerity in whatever she does. Thank you very much, ma'am, for coming here. And we also have with us principal of Shyam Lal College, Professor Harbinger, and Shyam Lal College has recently been graded A++ by NAC under the 2nd cycle. And the next line is more important. We congratulate Professor Kar for the same, and he's a hard-working principal who is really blessed to have a wonderful team behind this. So this is a very important thing, a leader and the team, and that's why my GSTS students are doing great. And some of team members I personally know, and they're working throughout the year. And we know, and now we thank ex-treasurer of governing body and the member of governing body, Sri Keshav Arora ji. His vision is a true reflection of governing body, chairperson, ideas and implementation. I must appreciate the host of the day, principal of our college, Professor Hemant Kukreti sir के पास जब जाता हूँ तो सर आप कीजिए, मैं आपके साथ. This is the word, and really my previous principal also and my this principal also very supportive for me. Thank you very much, sir, for giving me this platform. And this event never ever been possible without the constant support of my senior, my friend Dr. Pramod Dwivedi. No words for sir. He continuously behind me and supporting thoroughly. So thank you very much, sir, Pramod sir. And we had a long association. और उनके बिना हो नहीं पाता. जो हम देख रहे हैं सारा, वो उनके बिना कभी भी possible नहीं था. उनके personally effort के बिना possible नहीं था. And I send my warm regards to all my faculty members from this college, from outside campus, and from the every nooks and corners of university, and my TIC, Dr. DN Singh and Dr. Pramod Kumar, and my 2 junior colleagues, Dr. Seema and Dr. Ajay. Thank you very much for all. Lastly, I congratulate and thank the front runners of the show, whole team of Sakshya, GSTS, and stars of our college, but the other societies are also working day and night, because somehow we are in the offbeat college, just like, but not in this GSTS or Sakshya. Every society of my college working very hard, like Picoholic, Ijhar, Gandhi City Circle, NSS, Ankur, Amor, Prerna, Ella, Enactus, and I forgot the computer science department society. So thank you all my students and math society. So thank you very much for coming and join us, and it's a really great pleasure. Okay, I thank this milestone journey is a new beginning to joining more speakers, more scholars with us, and a diversified learning experience ahead. On 7th February 2021, we together started this initiative, and surprisingly, most of our speakers confessed later that they spoken for the first time on this stage. This is a very very good word for me also, that they are spoken first time and they truly really warrior in the coming future. I invite more of you by advocating this word. The expert in anything was once a beginner. So kindly listen to this word. The expert in anything was once a beginner. Thank you very much, and really wonderful, good time. Good afternoon. Thank you.
थैंक यू सो मच सर. बट सर ने सभी को शुक्रिया कहा, लेकिन खुद को कभी नहीं कहेंगे. लेकिन मैं एक छोटा सा किस्सा आपको सुनाता हूँ. आई वॉज दिस यू आर सीइंग हियर. It is a result of lot of planning, pre-planning, and meets and pre-meets. One fine day we were having, like around 2 to 3 days ago, we were having a meet, and it went up to 3 AM in the morning. So we were like, I said to sir, it's getting late, so we should we should sleep now. So at that time, sir said one sentence to me that I will still remember. I will remember for long. I think so. He said that कि तमन्नाओं से कहाँ मिलते हैं सपनों के शहर, तमन्नाओं से कहाँ मिलते हैं सपनों के शहर, चलना भी पड़ता है मंजिल पाने के लिए. अजय, so he will never thank himself. I know this thing, he will never thank, but this is the reality I'm telling you. This is the moment of truth I'm telling you. So thank you so much, sir. Your constant guidance always.
I would now like to request everyone to kindly proceed for the lunch, and we will be coming back for the next session, which will be the speaker session, and we will join you at 2 AM.
Please do come at 2 AM because अभी कुछ खत्म नहीं हुआ, picture अभी बाकी है मेरे दोस्त. Please do come at 2 AM. 2 PM, I'm sorry, 2 PM.
ये चाहिए.
चपाती सर एक, बस एक.
बस यार ज़्यादा फोटो लेगा खाली इधर लो सही आइटम
देखो बच्चे लाइन
खाओ
We will be starting the judge and jury session, speaker of the year award session in just a few minutes. Everyone kindly take your respective seats. We will be starting the session now. 100 speakers from 50 different locations, 100 guests of honor from 70 different colleges across the country and 100 different ideas. Good afternoon everyone. मैं अर्चना भारती, प्रेसिडेंट of Sakshya History Society, आप सभी का स्वागत करती हूँ। Thank you to all the guests of honors, teachers and graduates for their presence today. जब 7 फरवरी 2021 को हमने GSTS बंद करवाया था, तब शायद ही किसी ने सोचा था कि हम ये कोड भी किसी दिन यूज कर पाएंगे। And after almost 2 years, we have now become the biggest platform in the country to give an opportunity to that section of society whose ideas and voice always gets ignored. जैसा कि हमारे पास speakers भी कहते हैं, GSTS has been a boon to their life, which gave them an opportunity to speak for as long as 20 minutes. And now, after listening to 100 speakers and having 21 speakers of the month, we will finally be getting that one speaker who will become our speaker of the year. The journey to achieve this milestone started from just a few moderators and a group of people who came together, brainstormed this marvelous idea, and फिर क्या था? लोग जुड़ते गए और कारवा बनता गया. Moving from just few Sakshya speakers to Shyam Lal College Evening students, we branched out to different colleges of the country. And these speakers of us over here are a proud proof of this proclaim. With these words, I would like to welcome our judge and jury members to the Speaker of the Year award session. I would like to request Professor Rashmi Adi ma'am, Mr. Eshan Sharma, Mr. Priyank Jain and Mr. Dev Videja to kindly take their respective seats on the stage. Thank you so much, sir and ma'am. The way to develop the best that is in a person is by appreciation and encouragement. Therefore, I would now like to ask our judge and jury members to kindly accept this memento and extend their appreciation and encouragement to our speakers. Professor Rashmi Adi is an associate professor in the Faculty of Law.
एक मिनट, हाँ जी, इधर इधर, हाँ जी, एक मिनट, यस सर.
I'm sorry for the mistake, ma'am. Professor Rashmi Adi is a professor in the Faculty of Law in the University of Delhi. She is also the proctor in the university. Ma'am is well known for her administrative capability and she also handled the recent issue in the university that happened on 27 January. Thank you so much, ma'am, for always having so much of administrative abilities and always taking care of the university. Ma'am has been the mayor of Delhi and is currently a member of North Delhi Municipal Corporation. Next, I would like to request Mr. Vishesh Kashmi to please felicitate our jury members. We are very glad to have such excellent academicians as our jury members. As you know, GSTS has been a platform for the students, by the students, and of the students. That is why we have alumni of Delhi University who are currently excelling in their respective fields of studies and working for the betterment of society. Mr. Ishan Sharma is a writer and heritage activist. He is also the founder of one of India's leading history collectives, Karwa, the Heritage Exploration Initiative. Mr. Ishan is the first in the largest approach of making history accessible and has emerged as a popular name amongst history nerds for his works aiming at popularizing academic history. Thank you so much for accepting this memento, sir. Next, I would like to call Mr. Dev to please felicitate Mr. Priyank Jain. Mr. Priyank Jain is an alumnus of Shyam Lal College Evening. He is currently pursuing PhD in post-colonial literature in English from National University of Malaysia. His research papers titled Importance of Including Equal Place in Primary Classroom Education with reference to Indian primary curriculum in Ruskin Bond was published in German Online. Mr. Priyank has also published many conference papers. An excellent student, he is indeed a gem to our society. Thank you so much for accepting this memento, sir. Next, I would like to call our alumni, Ms. Sakshya, to please felicitate Mr. Dev Dudeja. Mr. Dev is an alumnus of Shyam Lal College Evening. He has cleared the mains of Union Public Service Commission examination, UPSC, with the first class and all the best for that, sir. He is a recipient of certificates in social innovation and social
Carmen, within this August gathering. To be a judge is a thing, but to have such eminent jury, one writer, one UPSC aspirant, and one PhD scholar, that is a very great thing. And the effort of Shyam Lal College in establishing this GSTC, which I was told is a very vibrant kind of a body. To get students nowadays to speak on any topic is a very difficult thing. Because as they say, since the time this mobile has come, the conversation has become one-sided only. You just read, you get up in the morning, see what are the messages which are there, and whatever messages you have to send, you send them through WhatsApp or Twitter or whatever. So to come out and speak on anything which you really feel like is a great thing. To communicate whatever you feel like, whatever is in your heart, is a very beautiful thing. And this is what is going to make you stand out from other students. I learned that there were 100 such sessions which you had, which itself shows how popular and how successful this effort has been. When I was a student, at that time also, I took part in the elections of the student union. We used to have an LLM student union. So I took part in it. And that was the time when I started speaking in public. And once you do law, you definitely know how to speak and how to argue with people. But then later on, I became a member of the Academic Council of the university to raise the issues of university, teachers, etc. in the Academic Council. And later I went into politics, the active politics of the city. Many people used to ask me, why are you in politics? You are in academics. What's the need for you to be in politics? And I used to always say that there are so many, we are a society of cribbers. We keep on cribbing, this is not right, that is not right, Sarkar ne ye nahi kiya, wo nahi मिला, हमें नौकरी नहीं मिली, हमें ठीक फैसिलिटी नहीं मिली, हमारे घर के बाहर की सड़क खराब है, एवरीबडी इज क्रिबिंग। और कुछ नहीं तो पापा ने ये नहीं लेके दिया, मम्मी ने ये नहीं किया, समथिंग और दिया। But I think there must be some people who should come forward and find solutions also. This is very important, and I can see such young faces who can be so good. Once you start speaking and you get confidence in it, you're most, I think, eligible to become good politicians also. And not only good politicians, to bring about change in the society also. Today, I'm just opening the session, and I'll be missing the talks of the 17 students who have been chosen for the finals. But I'll come again and I'll come to know who is the speaker of the year, and I'll give away the prize also. I have some urgent work, as was mentioned. There's a committee which has been formed by the Vice Chancellor, and I have to give the reports by 5 p.m. today. So today it became a busy day, otherwise I would have loved to come here. About communication, I will tell you. When I was in teaching for 2-3 years in IP University, I had a student who was such a shy student, she never used to open her mouth also in the class. But in our curriculum, we used to have moot courts in every semester, so she started taking part in moot court. And slowly and steadily, she started coming out. And by the end of the 4th year, she participated in an international moot court and won that moot court also. So this is the power of communication. And the more you're going to speak on issues which you like, which probably you really feel about, I think it will be a great service to the society which you're going to do. I really appreciate the effort of Shyam Lal College and all the participants who have taken part in these 100 sessions. I also thank Dr. Manish Karmwar, who invited me for this event. Thank you very much, and all the best to all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your best wishes. Your presence is indeed a great for us, and as you said about the solution to problems, and I think GSTS, this platform itself is a solution to the problems of many students. Thank you so much, ma'am. I would like to welcome Professor Vijay Lakshmi ma'am over here. She is an excellent academician and is a professor in the Department of History. She has also been present with us in the 52nd talk when we celebrated 1 year of GSTS. Therefore, I would like to call Mr. Ajay to please come and felicitate ma'am with the memento. Thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting this memento. Now, we are finally commencing upon the main event of this program, the Speaker of the Year Award session. I don't hear the clap. After a thorough evaluation, we have finalized 17 speakers who will give their presentations by giving more insights on the previous topics. These speakers are the flag bearers, and I know that we have got 99 speakers who are one of the best orators in the country, but these speakers have emerged on the top being as the flag bearers of Graduate Scholars Talk Series. And their presence today is a real privilege to us. So thank you to the speakers. And let's start with the first talk. All the best to all the speakers. First of all, before starting the event, I would like to mention the criteria for judging so that it is clear amongst the judge and jury and the speakers. Your topic will be judged on the following criteria: impactful PPT, how impactful your PowerPoint presentations are, then the clarity of your topic. After that, it is, as you know, we are very prominent on the research, so of course, your research matters a lot. उसके बाद हम time limit को भी consider करेंगे, and then we will be considering the content covered in your topic. The time limit for your talk will be 5 to 7 minutes. Another information that I would like to share is result declaration will be done in the valedictory session, and the final decision will be given by Professor Vijayalakshmi ma'am, and the jury members are really under your umbrella, ma'am, so kindly guide them over here. I would like to repeat again, the final decision will be given by Professor Vijayalakshmi ma'am. Now, commencing upon the first speaker. The first speaker is Mr. Anand Joshi. Mr. Anand has given 2 talks in GSTS 17 and GSTS 18. He has participated in many inter and intra-college or university as well as national and international competitions. He has been the Speaker of the Month in July 21 and former editor of Journal of Continuity and Change magazine. He has also been awarded as the Student of the Year Award in Shyam Lal College Evening in 2020. Mr. Anand has did his bachelor's in maths and computer applications and is pursuing master's in computer applications. He is also the founder of Doubt Hub and is currently working as a Teach for India Fellow, and this is a real momentous achievement. He is teaching 58 wonder girls of grade 10 in Government Girls Senior Secondary School in Azadpur College. His past talk discussed mathematics as the universal language and a subject of life. The major highlights of his talk were illustrations of biforms of infinity by Jan mathematicians, use of valid void shunnya zero in the Bakshidi script, and he also talked about the works of famous Indian mathematicians Panini, Brahmagupta, Bhaskaracharya, Bodhgyan, and many more. He will be further speaking on this topic only, and I expect that even though you don't like maths, this talk will be really interesting, so stay tuned for it. All the best, Mr. Anand.
Thank you, Archana. सदी के महान वैज्ञानिक आइंस्टीन कहते हैं, हम भारतीयों के बहुत ऋणी हैं जिन्होंने हमें गिनना सिखाया, जिसके बिना कोई सार्थक वैज्ञानिक खोज नहीं की जा सकती थी. Namaskaram, I feel very privileged to present my paper, which is Pattern, Shape and Numbers of Mathematics from Ancient to Modern India, where alpha, beta, gamma are my 3 objectives, where my alpha objective is to find pattern, shape and numbers of mathematics during the ancient period of India. इसी कड़ी में दुनिया की सबसे पुरानी मैथमेटिकल मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट बख्शाली पांडुलिपि शून्य का वर्णन करती है, और यजुर्वेद के 40वें अध्याय के ईशावास्य उपनिषद की में पंक्ति के प्रथम व अंतिम श्लोक कुछ शून्य की टिप्पणी करते हुए दिखाई देते हैं. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते, which translates into that is whole, this is whole, whole comes from whole, by taking whole from whole, whole remains. But it's unstated whole that is complete and also termed as circle, also shunya. So when we just replace the word whole from shunya or zero, the shlok becomes this is zero, that is zero, zero comes from zero, by taking zero from zero, zero remains, which is 0 minus 0 is equal to 0, which later on many Greek mathematicians came to know. गणित संख्याओं की पुस्तक तक सीमित ना होकर जीवन के विषय के रूप में कई बार उभर कर आई है. शून्य के खोजकर्ता महान ज्योतिष आर्यभट्ट अपनी पुस्तक आर्यभट्टम में पाई का वर्णन करते हुए दिखाई देते हैं। आर्यभट्ट द्वारा बताई गई है गणना आर्किमिडीज के द्वारा बताई गई गणना से भी सटीक साबित होती है, जो है 3.1416। इसके अलावा आर्यभट्ट इरेशनल नंबर्स की भी गणना करते हैं। और अगर मैं बात करूं कुछ एंशिएंट मैथमेटिशियंस के बारे में, तो एक शास्त्र है कल्पशास्त्र, जिसके शुल्ब सूत्र में, which is a principle of rho, there is a श्लोक which talks about the Pythagoras theorem way back in 800 BCE. The श्लोक is दीर्घ चतुर्षष्या शणिया रजु पाशमानी त्रिगमानी च यत् च पृथक भूते कुरुस्थ दुर्भयम करोति, where the Indologist report when commented that Pythagoras theorem has its origin from the Sulva Sutra which is given by Bodhyana and Apastam. अभी जो आप तस्वीर देख रहे हैं वो त्रेताग्नि की है, जिसमें गोलाकार, अर्धगोलाकार और वर्गाकार वेदी दिखाई जा सकती है। खास बात यह है कि इन तीनों तरह की वेदियों का क्षेत्रफल समान है, तो उस एंशिएंट पीरियड में कैसे वो इसका इस्तेमाल करते थे, ये काफी आश्चर्यजनक बात है। दिस इज पैटर्न शेप एंड नंबर्स इन द एंशिएंट पीरियड ऑफ मैथमेटिक्स। But my beta objective is to find shape, pattern, shape and numbers of mathematics in the nature. प्रकृति की बात करते हैं, इसके लिए पहले हमें समझना पड़ेगा कि फिबोनाची सीक्वेंस होती क्या है। फिबोनाची सीक्वेंस में पिछले दो अंकों को जोड़ के अगली संख्या ज्ञात की जाती है। जैसे 1 1 उसके बाद जोड़ देंगे तो 2 आएगा, फिर 1 को 2 3 आएगा, 2 3 5 आएगा। इसी तरीके से सीक्वेंस बन जाती है 1 1 2 3 5 8 13 21 एंड सो ऑन। जब हम नेचर में इसको देखते हैं तो सबसे पहले हम बात करते हैं पेटल्स की। नेचर में जो पेटल्स होते हैं फूलों के, वो कुछ इसी क्रम में दिखाई देते हैं, 1 2 3 5 8 13 21 34। इसके अलावा जो पेटल्स होते हैं वे बहुत कम और रेयर पाए जाते हैं। तो नेचर में इतनी विविधता है और कैसे वो एक मैच को अपने साथ लेके चल रही है, ये हमें देखने को मिलता है। गुलाब के फूल में हमें देखने को मिलता है कि उसके अंदर की जो पंखुड़ियां हैं वो 8 हैं, फिर बाहर में 5 हैं। उसी तरीके से अभी आप जो सूरजमुखी के फूल देख रहे हैं, इसके बीज की इस तरीके से स्पाइरल में अरेंज हैं कि फिबोनाची सीक्वेंस को दिखा रहे हैं। ये इस तरह इसलिए अरेंज है क्योंकि इसी तरीके से ये सबसे ज्यादा बीजों को संकुचित कर सकते हैं। अगली चित्र में आप 3000 और 1000 बीजों को कैसे संकुचित किया जाता है ये आप देख रहे हैं। इसी श्रृंखला में कुछ ब्रांचेस जो है अपने पेड़ों से जब कटती हैं ताकि जितना ज्यादा वो सरफेस एरिया ले सके ताकि वह सूरज के प्रकाश में रहे, तो इसी को दिखाते हुए ये तो पिक्चर आपके सामने है। शकुंतला देवी the great Shakuntala Devi who multiplied 13 digits faster than the computer once said that without mathematics there is nothing you can do, everything around you is mathematics, everything around you is numbers. So when we talk about today's world of computers, so we can't imagine the world without mathematics because the computer only understands the language of mathematics. Our chats on the WhatsApp are encrypted due to mathematics. The very new currency that we use, which is cryptocurrency, that includes bitcoins, involve blockchains and hence mathematics too. This microphone, which is working here because of mathematics, millions of softwares, programs are nothing but just mathematical algorithms, which is a pattern of numbers that are arranged in a meaningful sequence. Artificial intelligence got the intelligence because of mathematics, and I just want to tell you about a notable person in the ancient period of time, which is Pingala, which is the ancient Sanskrit grammar scholar, which is also credited for creating the first algorithm of Sanskrit. And the NASA also presented a paper and commented that Sanskrit is the most structured language for the computers by analyzing the work of Panini. Mathematics doesn't just analyze, it can predict as well. From the aerodynamics which keep the plane flying, to the amount of fertilizer that should be used to grow a crop, to the amount of the spread of the cancer as well. Now mathematics can predict the spread of cancer in the body, and this pattern is really helpful for the researcher to use mathematics to treat the cancer. And hence I conclude pattern, shape and numbers of mathematics from ancient to modern India. It feels immense proud and love while talking about this Indian mathematician, and for the hope for the future I do remember the words of Swami Vivekananda. He said that what I want is that my countrymen should have nerves of steel, muscles of iron and minds like thunderbolt. 100,000 men and women fired with zeal of holiness, fortified with eternal faith in the Lord, and nerved to the lion's courage by their sympathy for the poor and the fallen and the downtrodden. We go over length and the breadth of the nation, preaching for gospel of salvation, the gospel of health, the gospel of social raising up, the gospel of equality. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anand, for that marvelous talk. And मुझे लगता है कि मैथमेटिक्स को इन नजरों से देखना बहुत मुश्किल होता है, but through the talk of our speakers हम ये कर पा रहे हैं आज. Ancient, medieval, modern. किसने सोचा होगा कि इतने पुराने टाइम में भी जो मैथमेटिक्स आज हम देख रहे हैं वो इस तरह से भी पढ़ा जा सकता है. Thank you so much, Mr. Anand. Next, on to the next speaker, we have Ms. Anjali Sharma, who was the speaker of GSTS 38. She is the content and PR head of Junto Society and is in the content team of Department of Political Science Society. She has won 3rd prize in International Non-Violence Day quiz and has also won 3rd prize in national level debate competition by Central University of Himachal Pradesh. She has also gotten special recognition in NSS Roundtable Special Conference, Khalsa College. She has also contributed a write-up in DUSU magazine, Environmentalist. She is going to speak further on her topic, Afghanistan Beyond Headlines, War and Warlords. Her past talk included objectives such as India's regional aspirations for the place and the role of the US in the entire matter. All the best, Ms. Anjali.
First of all, thank you GSTS for the opportunity. A very warm good afternoon to one and all present here. This is Anjali, pursuing Political Science Honours from SGTB Khalsa College. Today, we shall take the discussion further from conundrum of the past to rescripting the present. 15th August 2021 was a momentous point in the history of Afghanistan when Taliban overthrew the elected Ashraf Ghani government. Since then, under Taliban rule in Afghanistan, governance has failed and economy has floundered. With the geopolitical video game running in the background, women's rights and human rights have been severely undermined. So, let us now turn to discuss each dimension. Women have been the worst sufferers at the hands of Taliban. In a year, there has been a staggering regression in women and girls' enjoyment of civil, political, economic, social and cultural rights. They are banned from secondary and higher education, traveling alone without a male family member, and mandatory wearing hijab in public. Women belonging to minorities are suffering intersectional discrimination. We are raised, said Mehbooba Siraj, a human rights activist from Afghanistan. She adds, today, the human rights in Afghanistan do not exist. The women of Afghanistan do not exist for the Taliban. Such is the grave plight of women there. Having discussed the women issues, now let us turn to the governance issues, which is at the core of why Afghanistan can be called as a failed state now. Ideology, religion, leadership and politics are the structural causes of instability in Afghanistan and consequently for its failed governance. Parliament has been dismantled, Ministry of Women Affairs and Afghanistan Independent Human Rights Commission have been dissolved. Rule of law has been replaced by rule of morality, or that too of the Sharia. Religious scholars are occupying positions of ministers and civil servants. The Taliban works through the remnants of state structures and state institutions it had inherited from an already weak state. The governance failure has exacerbated economic crisis, brain drain and collapse of the healthcare system. Rising inflation, that is 18.3%, and slow recovery in nominal wages have decreased the affordability of basic consumer goods for the households. 90% of Afghans say that it is difficult to get by in household income according to GetUp data. World Food Programme has detected that more than 20 million people are currently suffering from the food crisis. Tax collection at the border and inland sources has been a source of savior, that is 57% and 43% of the total revenue of the state. However, apart from the tax collection, mostly the country is run by the humanitarian aid from US, EU, India, Canada and World Bank, etc. Overall, the current economy has shrunk by 20%. Now let us take a turn to the geopolitical scenario. While the head of UN Women have conveyed a direct message to Taliban leadership to end policies on women, the international body is far from recognizing the Taliban government. The Big Brother India has called for inclusive, Afghan-led, Afghan-owned and Afghan-controlled process to bring peace and stability to Afghanistan. China, the big bully, still remains cautious, pragmatic and limited given the fragile stability and unrecognized government. Kabul's consistent refusal to accept the Durand line as the international border between Pakistan and Afghanistan has triggered recent clashes between their security forces and remains a key driver of tensions, undermining trust and provoking enmity. USA has taken a pragmatic shift to coordinate with the international community to assist Afghan people and help boost the economy. Basically, the China-Pakistan Taliban and the West and the India alignment seems much distant now. Coming to conclusion, Tali Kali poses a question in his book in 1980s, can Pakistan survive? Today, you and me can pose a question, can Afghanistan survive? The humanitarian concerns are looming large, with the economy on the verge of collapse, and the medieval mindset Taliban in power. International community would have to use both carrots and sticks to get things better. This is the story of Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, the heart of Asia. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Anjali. You indeed raise concerns on the current issues that are going all around the world, and I think all the viewers over here can see that our GSTS speakers are well aware of all the current issues that are going all around. You also raised humanitarian questions on crucial geopolitical issues. That was indeed a good point. Thank you, Ms. Anjali, for that insightful talk. Next, I would like to call our next speaker, Ms. Anshi Chaparia, who has been the speaker of GSTS 91. Ms. Anshi is in the second year Political Science program in Shyam Lal College Evening. She is an active participant in extracurricular activities of the college, a wonderful scholar. Her past talk on the topic NCRB report, from interpretation to interception of crime, has added new heights to our series. In her talk, she gave a brief introduction of the National Crime Records Bureau, along with the reasons behind the establishment of its agency and its various roles. She will now be giving more insights on this talk. All the best, Ms. Anshi.
Thank you, Ms. Archana. People were created to be loved, and things were created to be used. The reason the world is in chaos is because people are being used and things are being loved. A very warm welcome to honorable judges and all our esteemed guests. My name is Anshi Chaparia, and today I have got this amazing opportunity to present my thoughts on the topic NCRB report, from interpretation to interception. Firstly, I will be giving a brief introduction of my topic. Then I will be analyzing three of the many major crimes happening in our country: human trafficking, crimes against children, and illegal drug trade. Then I'll be talking about some of the preventive measures taken by the government and non-governmental organizations to lessen these crimes. Finally, I'll be concluding with some of my own thoughts. NCRB, popularly known as National Crime Records Bureau, is an Indian intelligence agency tasked with collecting and analyzing crime data according to the Indian Penal Code and special and local laws. It was established with the motto of empowering Indian police with intelligence agency. Its objective was to enable easy sharing of real-time intelligence across police stations, districts and states for improved investigation and crime prevention. Crimes are committed across this country every single day, and some of them are especially heinous. Firstly, I will be talking about one of the most brutal crime, human trafficking. We tend to think of human trafficking as a foreign issue, not something that can happen in our own backyard. But it's a fast-growing problem in our country, in every area with no real defined demographic. Human trafficking is trading humans mostly for the purpose of forced labor, bonded labor, sexual slavery, commercial sexual exploitation, and extraction of organs. It is a crime which involves violation of human rights. According to the International Labour Organization, 49.6 million people were living in modern slavery in 2021, out of which 27.6 million people were in forced labour and 20 million people were in forced marriage. Last year, the Railway Protection Force personnel saved a total of 1,045 children, including 344 girls, from being trafficked under Operation Nanhe Farishte. Just last Wednesday, the Mohali police busted an international trafficking racket and seized approximately 2.13 crores and gold worth 33 lakhs. There are several laws in India to tackle the crime of trafficking, like Immoral Traffic Prevention Act, Bonded Labour Regulation Act, Child Labour Act, etc. Acknowledging the overwhelming need of a comprehensive and holistic anti-trafficking bill, the Ministry of Women and Child Development had introduced a Trafficking in Persons Prevention, Care and Rehabilitation Bill in 2021. The draft enlarged the territorial jurisdiction of offences and widened the definition of a victim to include transgenders. It also strives to establish anti-human trafficking units for effective action against cases of human trafficking. There are several non-profit organizations that focuses on bringing strategic solutions to counter trafficking movements and providing rehabilitation to the survivors of the crime. Some of them are the Exodus Road, founded by Matt and Laura Parker, Rescue Foundation, founded by Balakrishna and Triveni Acharya, Prerna, and many more. Moving on, crimes against children. Accept what's done to their children if you don't mind it being done to yours. A child is viewed as a huge legal fortune of a nation state, as the inevitable destiny of any country relies exactly upon how its children grow and improve. There have been various instances of crimes against children, like sexual attack, abuse, child prostitution, child pornography, and their safeguard has become the fundamental goal of the general public. According to the latest NCRB data, there is a 16.2% rise in crimes against children from 2020 to 2021. And approximately 3% of them were registered under the Section 4 and 6, that is, punishment for penetrative sexual assault and aggravated penetrative sexual assault of the POCSO Act. Nowadays, there is a rise in child sexual abuse material on social media as well. The internet has provided an opportunity to offenders to easily access and trade child abuse images and videos at large scale. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has seen a 15,000% increase in abuse files reported in the last 15 years. There are several non-profit organizations that protects or strives to protect the child victims. A 7-strategy package called INSPIRE had been developed by the World Health Organization to end violence against children. Save the Children, India's leading independent child rights NGO, has been working.
But you have got only 2 minutes left. Your 5 minutes are up. You have got only 2 minutes left.
Yes.
You can continue to talk.
Has been working in several states of India and have impacted the lives of more than 14 million children. Now I will be talking about illegal drug trade. Drug addiction reduces a man to a ridiculous and mindless thing and creates social parasites and criminals. Drug trafficking is one of the most serious problems for most countries all over the world. The nexus between drug traffickers, organized criminal networks, and terrorists has created a force powerful enough to cause instability in our country. On 7th May 2022, DRI with the ICG launched Operation Khojbeen in the Arabian Sea and recovered approximately 218 kgs of heroin under the NDPS Act 1985. Just last year, the DRI seized 2,988 kgs of heroin at the Mundra port in Gujarat, and the NIA continues to unravel this entire supply chain. In addition to the NCB playing an active role in this war against drug, the government has been taking some serious initiatives. The Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment have also launched Nasha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan in 272 districts to address this issue. Before concluding, I would just like to say these lines. सबकी खुशी में हो मेरी खुशी, ऐसा मेरा नजरिया कर दो. सबकी खुशी में हो मेरी खुशी, ऐसा मेरा नजरिया कर दो. सबके चेहरे पर खुशी ला सकूं, मुझे एक ऐसा जरिया कर दो. I would just like to say that if we all come and join hands together, then we can make our country a country worth living in. Thank you so much.
so much, Ms. Anshi, for raising issues on such a gruesome crime like human trafficking. You have all, and it's so saddening to hear about these data on the recent crimes against children. I think इस talk को सुनने के बाद हम सभी यहाँ पे जो है वो काफी careful रहेंगे, and especially when you are in a city like Delhi, isn't it? Next, moving on to our next speaker, Ms. Chandni Jaswal, who has been the speaker of GSTS 55. She is for exams. She won't be present physically. Hence, I would request Mr. Shubham to kindly play a recording. Before that, I would like to read out her CV so that we can know our speaker on a much. You can know our speaker. She has been the core team member of Karban, the Heritage Exploration Initiative, a platform to popular history and communication members in the British Kenya Initiative, Museum of British Colonial. She, a passionate lover and reader of history, she, as of January 2023, has published 12.
Greetings everyone, my name is Chandni Jaswal. In February last year, I gave a talk at the GSTS titled Recalling Black History to celebrate the Black History Month that the West observes every year in February. This time, I'm going to go a step ahead and analyze the impact that this history has had on the present of the African Americans. The objectives of this talk are to recapitulate the 500 years of racial discrimination in the US, to establish that racism is both loud and explicit, as well as subtle and implicit. I'll be doing that by analyzing racism and its representation in media, and finally argue that racism has in fact spilled in the 21st century. The first African settlement comes into America with the Spanish in the 1500s. They're followed in this practice by the English, who bring dozens of indentured laborers from Central Africa in a slave ship with a very racist name, the White Line. And then come a series of laws enacted by the legislature with very racist connotations. The first of which was the Virginia Law, which declared that all children in America shall be held bond or free according to the condition of the law. This ensured that the white Americans had an incessant supply of bonded African Americans at their disposal at all times. Between 1700 and 1860, a series of changes have taken place in America. A free, liberal country is born. But the ground reality was that African forced labor continued to remain oppressed. They had no rights, they were exploited. They in fact had increased in numbers a lot. When the Civil War strikes America in 1861, the need for patriotic soldiers is felt, and the government hastily declares the Emancipation Proclamation. The then President of America, Abraham Lincoln, declares that all slaves were henceforth free. But again, the reality was much different than this. When the elections of 1870 happened, none of the eligible black voters were allowed to vote. This is followed by a series of very discriminatory, racist laws called the Jim Crow laws, which declared the separation of all public sources and facilities on the basis of color, which included separate water coolers, separate coaches in the railways, separate waiting rooms, separate restaurants, separate spittoons in public bathrooms, separate residential areas. This racism was disguised in a very misleading notion called separate but equal by the government. By the time the 20th century dawns in the world, the African Americans have realized that they need to do something about this situation. They form an organization called the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, which continues to function in America today. The first great victory for the African Americans was the judgment of the Brown versus Board of Education case, which declared the segregation of schools on the basis of color as an unconstitutional thing. Then starts the civil rights movement in America. Rosa Parks, who was an African American and refused to vacate his seat for a white passenger, is arrested. Her arrest immediately leads to mass boycotts all over America, which included sit-ins, peaceful protests, etc. Then comes the rise of Martin Luther King Jr. as the leading civil rights activist. And finally, in 1964, the government enacts the Civil Rights Act, which declared all forms of separation and discrimination on the basis of color as unlawful. Now, politically, America did evolve in the 20th century, but had they evolved as a society? What better way to gauge this than by looking at media and movies? In my last talk, I had talked about a film called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, which discusses interracial marriages in the 60s in America. This time I'm going to take another classic called Driving Miss Daisy, which highlights how one can overcome their racial biases and prejudices with time and understanding. And certainly that is what exactly America was doing in the 80s. And they had to quite an extent overcome their racial biases. But now fast forwarding to the 21st century, my question is, have Americans and the world actually overcome their racial biases? Certainly the culmination point for all African American struggle came with the election of Barack Obama as the president. But the reality was that Obama was succeeded to the presidential office by Donald Trump. And Donald Trump gets embroiled in a very racist controversy when he uses extremely derogatory terms for immigrants from African countries. So certainly all isn't well in this 21st century where we claim to be very culturally aware. And of course, when we're talking about 21st century and America, how can we not talk about the Black Lives Matter movement, which is not the result of just the death of George Floyd, but it's the result of several cases like George Floyd's, which includes Tamir Rice, Philando Castile, Stephen Clark, Breonna Taylor, and millions of other African Americans who have over time lost their lives to police brutality and racial discrimination. If we were to go by the statistics, between 2019 and 2021 alone, there has been a 49% increase in hate crimes against African Americans. But certainly, it's not that we have not gained anything as a society or we have not morally been uplifted. To take an example, in my last talk, I've given examples of advertisements from the 20th century, the ones that you see here, one of a detergent and the other of a varnish company, both of which claim to be so effective that they could clean a black man off his blackness. Something similar happened in the early 2000s with the PlayStation ad and an Intel company ad. But the difference between these ads was that unlike the ads which came in the 20th century, the ads below were pulled off because there was a huge public outcry about the racism that these ads were reinforcing. So unlike these ads which were never taken off, these were. So we can argue that society has in fact had a moral change of heart over time. I'll end with the words of Martin Luther King Jr. Racial understanding is not something that we find, but something that we must create. This presentation, as well as the one that preceded it, was my attempt at understanding racial discrimination. I hope that you enjoyed it because I had a lovely time talking about it. These are my sources. Thank you very much for listening to me.